A good man doesn't decide to become a criminal overnight. It doesn't start with a crime. It starts with a hospital room and a number. The moment Marcus Hale decided to break the law, his daughter was asleep, 7 years old, curled up in a hospital bed, a machine beside her quietly counting the rhythm of her heart. Marcus stood there watching the numbers blink, heart rate, oxygen level, blood pressure. Everything looked calm, but the doctor had already told him the truth. Without treatment, Lily wouldn't live long enough to see her next birthday. The treatment existed, it could save her life, but it cost $400,000. Marcus didn't even have $4,000, and that was the moment the world stopped making sense. Marcus Hale lived a small, quiet life. He owned a repair shop on a narrow street where most businesses had been there longer than anyone could remember. His shop fixed the things people didn't want to replace. Phones with cracked screens, old laptops that had survived 3 owners, radios that belonged to people who refused to throw memories away. Marcus wasn't rich, but he was trusted. And in a small neighborhood, trust is everything. Every evening he closed the shop early, not because he didn't need the work, but because someone more important was waiting, his daughter, Lily. Lily was 7. She had a habit of drawing animals that didn't exist, purple cats, dinosaurs with wings, 3-legged birds. Marcus kept every drawing. They covered the wall behind the counter in his shop. Customers often asked why he didn't take them down. Marcus always said the same thing: they remind me what matters. Then Lily collapsed at school. At first the doctors thought it was exhaustion. Kids get sick, kids fall, kids recover. But Lily didn't recover. They ran tests, then more tests, then more silence. Finally the doctor came back with a folder and a face that said everything before he even spoke. It was a rare blood disorder, aggressive, fast. The treatment existed, but insurance barely covered anything. The doctor slid a paper across the table, $400,000. Marcus stared at the number like it was written in another language. He thought maybe there had been a mistake, but the doctor didn't correct it. Most people believe they would never break the law, until the law stands between them and someone they love. Marcus tried everything the right way first. He sold his car, he worked longer hours, he opened a fundraiser online, people shared the story, thousands saw it, hundreds left kind comments, but kindness travels faster than money. And Lily didn't have time. One night Marcus sat beside her hospital bed. She was drawing in a notebook, a big house with a garden. Marcus asked her what it was.
"Our next house," she said. "The one we'll have when you're rich."
Marcus smiled, because he knew something Lily didn't. He wasn't rich, and time was running out. 3 days later a man walked into Marcus's repair shop, well-dressed, calm, confident. He looked around the shelves, then he asked a strange question. "Do your customers trust you?" Marcus nodded. "Good," the man said, "because trust is very profitable." The offer sounded simple. Marcus could sell cheap replica electronics, devices that looked identical to expensive brands. Most customers would never notice. Profit margins would triple. 3 times the money, 3 times the speed. Marcus refused immediately.
"I'm not a thief."
The man smiled.
"No, you're a father."
That night, Marcus didn't sleep. He sat beside Lily's bed listening to the machines breathe for her. He kept thinking about one sentence. "You're a father." The next morning Marcus made his first dishonest sale, 1 counterfeit device, then another, then 5. At first it felt temporary, just a way to buy time, but money started coming faster than he expected. Thousands, then tens of thousands. Each dollar felt like oxygen. Each sale felt like another day Lily could stay alive. People rarely notice the moment they cross a line, because they cross it slowly. Weeks passed. Marcus's business grew, but so did the lies. Customers trusted him, and he knew he was betraying that trust. Every night he locked the shop and looked at the wall covered with Lily's drawings, and wondered when exactly he had stopped being a good man. Eventually the complaints started. A serial number that didn't exist, a product that stopped working, a suspicious customer, then another, then a police report. When the officers walked into Marcus's shop, he didn't run, he didn't argue, because by then he already knew this moment was coming. The story spread quickly. Local shop owner charged with fraud. Customers were angry, neighbors were shocked, but the headlines didn't mention Lily. The headlines never do. In court the judge asked Marcus the question everyone wanted answered. "Why did you do it?" Marcus looked around the courtroom, at the reporters, at the angry customers, then at Lily sitting quietly in the back row. He took a breath, and said something that silenced the room.
"I tried being a good man first."
Marcus went to prison, but before the arrest, he had already transferred the money, every dollar, for Lily's treatment. Months passed, then a year, then another. The treatment worked. Lily survived. She grew stronger, healthier. The doctors called it medicine. Marcus called it something else. Time. Years later, Lily visited him in prison. She was older now. Old enough to understand. Old enough to ask the question Marcus feared most. Would you do it again? Marcus didn't hesitate, not even for a second. Yes, because sometimes life asks a question with no clean answer. Be a good man, or save the person you love. Marcus Hale chose his daughter, and that decision was his last choice.